Hey, what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here, guitarjams.com. Really happy to bring you a solo technique lesson from one of my favorite guitarists, and I know it's a lot of your favorite guitarists out there, at least one of them, John Frusciante, formerly of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Anyway, this is inspired by the Suck My Kiss solo. I mean, it's pretty much the solo, but I'm going to break down some of the techniques involved so you can actually internalize licks. I always like to kind of get the solo in my blood and then try and have that be an influence in my playing as opposed to a copycat approach. Anyway, I've got even more licks for you. There's a link right down there for some more blues rock licks and some famous inspired styles right down there. You can click that link down there and check it out. I really appreciate it. But let's zoom in and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. So one of the cool things about this particular solo, or these solo techniques here, are that it's in the key of G. It's kind of a G minor kind of vibe, but you could just kind of consider it G rock, G blues will work, but it's really employing that G minor pentatonic scale. One of the cool things about the G minor pentatonic scale is that you can incorporate that open G string. I mean, really, any key you're in, you can incorporate the open string. But right here, we've got the... And so if you notice right off the bat, that's actually what's going on in the beginning of that solo. He's going... on that open G string. Check it out. Pretty cool, because now we're going to add some stuff. Check out the G minor pentatonic. Most of it's right up here in this, all the way up to the high root here on the E, which is the 15th fret. And you can just got the minor pentatonic right here. If you don't know what that is, this might not be the right lesson for you, but here it is anyway. So I'm still doing that, but the very first thing is my ring finger is planted on the 17th fret of that G string, and my index finger is planted on the 15th below it, just from that blues box, and I'm going to pick it. And I'm pulling off that, then I'm pulling off that into that open thing. See that? So real slow. So it does two of those pull-offs. Then just the 15th fret with the index. All right. The next thing is the exact same, except instead of, and this is, there's some weird notes in there. The next thing, instead of the 17th, it goes up to this 18th. So 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th to the 15th. And that's just the blues note in the blues scale. But he's just doing... So it's the exact same lick, but now with the 18 instead of the 17. And that's the same. So from the top... Sounds weird when you play it slow, but in the full speed solo, it's right. Or, I mean, with the real solo. And then the next time we're going to do just a bunch, same kind of rhythm, but just a bunch on just that 15G open G. And then the next thing we're going to do, right, still in that minor pentatonic, we're on the 15 and we're going to hammer up to the 17 on the D string. Still that same da 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 da, which you hear in the rhythm of the song too. And notice my alternate picking. Now, once again, that open G string could be in there the whole time. And so what I'm doing there, I'm just letting my pick cross over to that open G string while I do this. Da, 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 da. All right? So from the top. Okay, then that next thing sounds like a clustery chord kind of thing, and you could stay in the same spot. But I actually like this other spot for the same lick, same notes. Don't be scared. The A-rooted G minor pentatonic. So the G note that I plug in my scale by, the G note's right there on the 10th of the A. And if you don't know that one, you can go try Guitar Jams for free for 3 days and look up the pentatonic, all the shapes. Okay, so I like to do this little lick right here. Stevie Ray Vaughan did it a lot, but basically you got the index. Remember, we're still in G. These are all G licks that you can use later in a G blues even. So index on the 10th fret of the high E, middle finger on the 11th of the B, and that's a really cool double stop. And the reason I like this more than doing a little double cluster with one finger is when I use a double stop with one finger, I don't have the tips of my fingers anymore to kind of control the vibrato. So if I do it with the 10th fret and the 11th fret, each individual finger, which I mean, I guess you could do that, but this just is one of my favorite little spots here. Because you can really control and bend and add vibrato to that thing. And so this is really cool too. You got da 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 ba. And so I'm holding this the whole time, but then my ring finger goes up to this 12th fret of the high E right here while I'm holding this, and I've got my ring finger on that 12th fret, and I pull it off. And then here brings me to climbing up double stops in a G minor kind of setting. And you start with this double stop, you move it up a whole step. We're going to keep track of our index finger here. Then, so you got, and we're going to go, we're going to strum it as fast as we can, very intensely. So we've got this one, which is 12 and 13. Then index finger is going to move up a half step to 13. Ring finger is going to switch now. Instead of middle finger, ring finger is going to be on the 15. So you got, and this is going to work in any kind of G minor or G blues kind of thing. So this one, like I said, 13 and 15. Then the exact same thing up a whole step. And then the last one, index finger is going to go all the way up to the 17th fret. Middle finger will go to the 18th fret of the B. And there you have it. So you've got same thing up a whole step. Index moves up a half step. Ring finger now is added. That thing up a whole step. Index moves up a whole step, and now middle finger goes back to that original shape. So all right, hope you dug it. Some real nice little techniques in there that hopefully you can use for lots of other kinds of solos. I've got those extra blues licks down there. You can check them out right down there. That clickable link. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you soon. Later.